Richie, I hope the end of this evening is even more spectacular for you than the terrific award you received tonight. You've got quite a huge crew of people who pulled together and are making a magnificent gift to you and Pat. We really hope you enjoy it, buddy, and you are very deserving. So go Big Red, and it's great to be here.
Thank you very much.
That's a good one. We all wanted to come down here because we had a few things we wanted to say to our favorite coach. And before I start, I just wanted to have one short moment of silence in memory of Eamon, who was dear friends of many of us, family members of many of us, and lives within all of us, and to his father as well. And so let's have just a short moment of silence in honor of Eamon. Thank you. I've known Richie for 40 years, and I've never played lacrosse.
But who's ordering breakfast?
You better get an easy chair.
Slow down, this big boy. And also,
You only got 2 minutes.
listen, I also want to mention that I've been trying to get Richie to write a book of his memoirs for the last 2 years now, and I'd like, by show of applause, those who would buy 5 books and give them to all their friends if he wrote a book.
Yeah, baby. Paperback. A lot of pictures. That's as long as spreadsheets on the cover.
I have the book inside.
Start with a magazine.
So now, don't forget Paris Island.
Exactly.
Let's
It's
go.
going to be on everybody's bill.
So anyway, listen.
Hey, Alvin, your head's in the way.
When we learned that Richie was going to be honored with this Legends Award, several of us, particularly Bobby Cummings, Jonathan Levine, and I, thought it might be a nice idea to find a very special way to give Richie a further honor, because we know that Richie's all about people and things that happen to him from people that he loves and admires and respects and who feel the same way about him are the things that mean the most to him. And Pat's at the top of the list, obviously. But so we thought that we would contact a lot of Richie's former players and friends, people from Bobby Rule to Glenn Mueller to Chris Kane, who came a long way today, to Frenchie, people like Pete Gogolak, who loves you very much, people like Bonnie Madden. And we wanted to do something to symbolize how much we care and love Richie and Pat Moran. And so we came up with the idea of getting a special lacrosse stick, and you all heard Richie give his presentation tonight, and he mentioned Alf Jacques, who was the guy who was the premier Native American lacrosse stick maker. And so I called Alf, because he had sold me a stick at one point, and I asked him, this was at the end of April, if he could make me a stick. And he said, well, he had a 6-month backlog. Well, I said to him, well, that's not good enough for us. We're going to be giving the stick to Richie Moran in honor of his Coaching Legends Award. And Alf said that in that case, I can get it done for you in a week. And that's what Alf did. And so we got this stick from Alf. It looks like this. And this is a stick was made by Alf, who's near Syracuse. But we asked a lot of Richie's friends, former players, people who admire him, people who he admires, to give us permission to sign their names or to write their names on this stick to commemorate what the honor that Richie's received today. And I want to read those names, many of whom are here tonight. It won't take me long. There are only 97 of them. 97. Thirsty? I'm going to read these names real fast. And starting with...
Start with the H's.
I want to start with Eamon McEnany, who I put on the first place on this stick, and Mike French, and John Levine, and Dan Mackesy, who expressed his condolences. He couldn't be here tonight. He was ill today. Chris Kane, who's here with us, Bobby Hendrickson, Gary Malm, Bobby Katz, John Sierra, George Lau, Steve Divas, Jimmy DiNicola, John Griffin, Brian McCormick, Andy Phillips, Tim Mulligan, Arthur Freed, Randall Wang, David Monahan, Dave O'Reader, Rodian Ivancic, Alvin Haglin, that's row 1, Bobby Cummings and his brother Mike, Kevin Moran, it was very nice to let us do that, Kevin Cook, Tommy Marino, Vince Angotti, Joe Lizio, Chris Tierney, Jack Tierney, Dwayne Phillips, John Wurzberger, Pat Leahy, Stuart Binstock, Timmy Goldstein, Steve Meyer, Steve Long, Matt Gleason, John Howe, Jeff Farrar, Steve Paletta, Larry Carboni, Christian Reynolds, me, Pete Gogolak, Glenn Mueller, and Bobby Rule, both are here tonight. Thank you for coming, Bobby and Glenn. John Burnap, Dave Dunlap, Pat Gallagher, Ken Wingate, Andy Noel. Thank you for coming, Andy. John McCarthy, Charles Caliendo, David Cleary. Do you recognize any of these names? Paul Cooner, Chris Braceland, Wayne Moichner, Robert Brennan, James Gilbert, Brian O'Sullivan, Michael Lynch, Howie Borkin, and Ann LeBeau. Then we have Warren and Kathy Aldridge, who are in Hong Kong and were very nice to ask us to include their name. Brooks Bradley, thanks for coming, Brooks. Michael LaRocco, John Miller, Mike DiStefano, Mike Cross, Tim Vivian, Kevin Smith, Carl Lehman, Paul Tully, Walter Scholl, Tim McDevitt, John Britton, Ken Fidge, Greg Pensky, Peter Basili, Greg Rashdorf, Clarence Reed, Melanie Meehan, Kim Ike, Bobby Shaw, and Scott Crafty. And Bobby was at a family reunion and expressed his regrets that he couldn't make it. And then we have, last but not least, Nick Lanta, John Gerber, James Dow, Steve Fitzpatrick, Bill Brine, asked me to include his name, Mark Paoletta, who's our cameraman for the evening. Thank you, Mark. Peter Drench, Stephen Mancat, and Charles Weeby. And those are all names who are representative of the folks who you've coached over the years, who've been your friends over the years, who admired you, who you've admired, who've been people who are where they are today in many respects because of what you gave them when they were here at Cornell, when their parents entrusted them with you. And so I'd like, on behalf of everybody here present, and all those who couldn't be here tonight, but who will be able to view this videotape thanks to Mark, this Alf Jacques Trust. I want you to know that Alf likes to put a purple ribbon on his sticks, and just for you, he told me he would put a red ribbon just for you. So now, that's just the start of it, because we thought that as long as we're going to give you a stick, we ought to give you something to put it in. And so, for that part of the program, I'd like to turn this over to my friends Bobby Cummings and Jonathan Levine.
Coach, where do you start? First off, I'm proud to be able to be here and to share with you certainly my personal feelings, but representative of all my teammates and many of the guys over 4+ decades in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, I've often reflected, and I do it more and more as you get older, and I think as we all get older, we try to figure out a way now that the early stage stresses of cutting a career and raising some kids, and you get to a point in life and you want to give back, and you try to figure out a way to give back and to be a meaningful contributor to the world around you. And the more I've reflected on over the years, and the person that I think I've become over the years, I thought more and more about you. And when I was up recently at Cornell at 87, 88 reunion, and shared with the guys that feeling, it's overwhelming that how your players feel about you. And the reason we all came together with this is that so often guys like you don't hear it. And a group like this will come together many, many years after somebody passes, perhaps, right? We wanted to tell you how we felt. And the impact impact he made on our lives. They weren't all great times. But I think that through positive and negative reinforcement, I think you were working on Pavlov's theory for me on junior year. But you made guys look deep inside themselves, and you made guys realize they could achieve great things, and you taught guys how to be compassionate and competitive, and those are things that I took on to my own careers. There are things that I share with my kids, that all of us share with our kids, and you really are a legend. You're a legend to all of us. You're a legend to the players. You're a legend to our families, and you're just a wonderful man, and we wanted to say thank you for the impact that you've made on all our lives.
Okay. Tough act to follow. So, to echo Bobby, it's easy. 10 years later, 87, we're riding together, and we share the same stories. And I say, how could that happen? 10 years later, say down on the farm. Don't confuse your wishbone with your backbone. Yeah, right. Make sure you call your mom tonight. All the Richie-isms that all of us could start pulling out right now, all of us. And you think about these Richie-isms, but the truth of the matter is, we all walked on that campus at Cornell. We were as green could be. And you gave us a vision. You gave us a view of like what's possible. You think about our team, and maybe you can say there was a lot of raw talent there, but you had a lot of guys running in a lot of different directions. And that takes amazing leadership. It takes, for us, it was this pathway that you showed us, the values that we all hold very high. All of us becoming parents and having children. If you go into my office, you see a picture of my two boys, 7 and 4, sitting on the bench in front of the crescent with hats, Cornell lacrosse hats on, with their feet dangling on the bench. And who's the luckiest guy in the world to have two boys that were able to play for Cornell and Cornell lacrosse? And all I wanted, and all of us would ever want, is to have our kids have the kind of experience that we had with you as our coach and as our leader. You showed us what it's all about through thick and thin, and that's what life is. It's being sustainable. It's being able to keep the focus. And you showed us that it's not if we were going to be successful. It really was all about when we were going to be successful. And that when we figured out it's a lot more fun to do with people we love. And what Bobby said is so true. You don't realize it until later in life. So I've been coming up to Cornell, like all of us, for, I don't know, graduated 76, coming on 30 plus years. For the last 7 years, I've probably seen every lacrosse game. And whenever I see Richie, he would look at me, and I'd be driving I'd be driving a beat-up BMW, a beat-up Audi, but he'd be looking at me, he'd be going like, with the arms out like that. And then I said to myself, what an opportunity. What an opportunity to tell this coach of ours, who changed our lives forever, how much we love you, how much impact that you had in all of our lives. And not our lives, but our children's lives. And then you know what's going to happen? Our children's lives. And you've set the generation, you've set a core value, you've set a path that all of us, whether we're in business, whatever we do, those values stay with us. And we impact other people, and we have spheres of influence with other people. And when you think about that, it becomes thousands of people that you have influenced. It's truly amazing. So we have this opportunity to say, you know what? Let's just do something completely silly and ridiculous. And we want to be able to tell you it with all of us together, because how hard is it to get all of us together? Let's do something different. So I had this idea. I spoke to Kevin Cook, Bobby Cummings, Jay Spiegel, Tommy Marino, Nick Lanton. All of a sudden, we started getting viral on this. with a little help of the athletic department, the email started going out. We said, you know what? I got this idea. We got this idea. Let's get something special for Richie. And this way, when he looks at it, he knows every player that played for him, how much they love this person, how much they love and respect him. Well, with the help of Jay Spiegel and a lot of hard work, and Jay Spiegel hasn't worked in his law firm in the last 2 weeks because he's been very freaking busy. We decided to get to something special. Now, what's the favorite Richie-ism that we all have? It's great to be here. It's great to be here.
If I could whistle, I would do that.
All right. Now, if I don't let Stacy Levine say a couple of words.
I'm going to will make it through the end of the evening. But thank you. Thank you both, everything. I just, from the wise perspective of the players that you coached, you have changed all of our lives. Your relationship with Pat was really emblematic of the perfect relationship in the eyes of your players. Your care for their families and how you treated their parents really transcended through each and every one of their fibers in their bodies. And I believe that every single man that stands here today that played for you is that much better a husband, that much better a father, that much better a leader because of you and what you showed. And I've told you this before, but this is a perfect time to really share with you that I from everybody here and everybody and people that aren't here, God bless you and thank you for being who you are because you are a really special person. You have taken the Cornell legacy and you have made the entire community of lacrosse players of every other team jealous of us. They all want to be Cornell's guys because of the legacy that you presented and the way that this family of lacrosse players and their parents and their grandparents and everybody unites in ways that are unmatched. And from both of you, from every single person, every wife, every daughter, every son, you guys are beautiful.
Well, so Richie, from all of those people whose name is on that stick, and from all of the players who played for you, and who you've changed their lives and made them that better a person, we decided. Hey, Rashdorf, stop screwing it up, will you? We decided to tell you how sweet it is and how great it is to be here.
Sit down, right? Sit on the car. I'm sorry. I really cannot accept this.
But Pat will. We were prepared for that. So
She says you have to.
What's plan B? 1993 Toyota Corolla.
We know.
That is the greatest car.
You can still drive it. You still have it.
I cannot go back to it.
We didn't sell it. We didn't sell it. It's still there.
My kid can use it.
Your car is still there. This is just an additional ride for you.
that's your station car, Coach.
Another ride. Right.
We don't have a station.
I'm not sure that's real.
Turn around. We got a hood of
You got to take it around the other side.
Open her up.
I feel like Bob Barker. He got the back and his tail. You wouldn't know Ellen in the front. You gotta check out the door.
You gotta check out the door on the other
You
side.
gotta check out the logo in the front. Finally, he's gonna stop saying where's the car.
Is that great?
Did I speak for you?
Man, he's gonna have to drive. He's gonna be too drunk to walk.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say that tonight was a very difficult night for Mike French and myself.
Can't hear you.
Mike and I talked last night,
Turn off the car.
and we were really here to express our feelings for what Cornell's all about. Cornell's about the men, the women, the people that have been involved with the program, the parents. To think about Eamon throughout the last couple of days, and Mike said it, for about 2 weeks, he's thinking about the right words to say. Well, right now, I am so overwhelmed at the comments made by everybody here tonight. Jay Spiegel said to me one time, he said, Coach, when I was trying to make the team at Cornell as a kicker, he gave me an opportunity to use the goalpost in the practice to get the team up the other end of the field because it was at the end of practice. I didn't realize I was creating a monster, okay? Because we became friends from that point on. And, but Jay, how am I going to get to Johns Hopkins with that freaking logo?
I hope you do go there with this on there. Now,
This, the names on this, and all the other players that played for me, and the parents that I dealt with, and had the pleasure of knowing them, and all the children that I've met in recent years. When Chris Reynolds and John Miller come up to Cornell for a reunion, and Bobby Cummins comes up with their children, and Joe Lizio, and I can name all of them, but to look at the eyes of the children, to realize, wow, this is what my dad was telling me about. And, you know,
we want you to know a couple of things, Richie. The names on that stick are the people that contributed to the car.
so I'm going to send the tax write-off?
No. We got you covered. It's tax-free, Coach. I want to also make sure to thank Scott Crabtree. Where's Scott? Scott Crabtree is right here behind me. Come on up, Scott. Scott is the largest Acura dealer.
Thank you very much.
Largest Acura dealer in the world, and thanks to Scott, my good friend, he was able to get us this car and put it all together, put the decals on, give us a price that we could afford to do this for the coach. And so we are deeply indebted to Scott Crabtree.
Thanks, Scott.
No problem.
Now, I also have something else for Richie. This car, Scott tells me, is going to be delivered. You're not driving it home. We're going to take it back, and we're going to have you come tomorrow morning and sign a few papers before you leave for Ithaca. And then it'll be your car with your title. And then it's going to be put on a truck and sent up to Ithaca, New York, and delivered to your house sometime early next week. And I know the end of next week, Richie has an appointment with the Irish lacrosse team. They're having a scrimmage on next Friday, I believe it is. And so I thought that it was appropriate that if Richie's going to be driving his brand new car to his scrimmage, he ought to have the proper attire to wear when he arrives at the scrimmage. You have to tear that. There you go.
Jay, I can't wear a thong.
I'm hoping it's not a kilt.
Oh, baby. It takes a rabbi to get an Irish hat. This is unbelievable.
And in addition, because of the generosity of everybody, we were overwhelmed. Bobby and Jonathan were unbelievable at contacting everybody that they contacted to do this, and we raised so much money. We raised more than we needed for the car. And so in addition, before you leave our fair city of Washington, our nation's capital, you will be leaving with some gift cards that will be enough to pay for enough gas to fuel this baby for the next year and to pay for the insurance for the next year. Now, the gas, that also assumes that President Obama approves the Keystone Pipeline. If not, we've given you enough for 2 months. And so,
It's Washington. He's in Washington.
so we're in Washington, and so I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody here.
What's happening with the vanity plates?
And also, when you get to Ithaca and you register this car, Hondo. Where's
Hondo.
Hondo?
Where's Hondo?
Hondo. Hondo, would
Hondo,
you,
tell us about the vanity plate.
tell us about the vanity plate that you've arranged for Richie.
Team effort.
Well, instead of me speaking for 9 or 10 minutes, I'm just going to show you guys.
Oh yeah.
Show it to Richie.
Go
Show it to
Big
Richie.
Red.
Man, a few
No
words.
iron
That's your new
team.
license plate. Now, before we all go back, into the bar, it's a tradition that Richie lead us in the Cornell Church, then we sing the alma mater and God Bless America. So would you like to do the honors?
And one last thing, Richie, just check the glove box real quick. Just real quick. Grab little, just in the armrest there. In the armrest.
Up there, 10 of them.
What's that say on it? What's that say on it?
No way.
He needs his glasses.
For long drives.
I wish you would have gave it to him a little while ago.
Mosquito. Keep mosquitoes away. I'm not kidding.
He's not kidding.
Careful. It's the extra zest one, so be careful. It's a little hot.
Brian Stuckey. Okay.
All right.
Coach, lead us the song, Coach.
Let's have a C. C. Forget it. Let's go again. Can I have a C? C. O. O. R. N. E. L. L. What do we got? Cornell. Okay. Ready to go?
Okay, here we go. Far above Cayuga's waters, with its waves of blue, stands our noble alma mater, glorious to view. Lift the chorus, speed it onward, louder praises tell. Hail to thee, our alma mater. Hail, oh, hail, Cornell. Far above the busy humming of the bustling town, reared against the arch of heaven, pushing proudly down. Lift the chorus, speed it onward, louder praises tell. Hail to thee, our alma mater. Hail, oh, hail, Cornell.
God bless America. Ready? On three. 1, 2, 3. God
Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the valleys, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
bless you. Drinks are on me.
I've never heard that before.
Hurry up, hurry up.